Hello guys and welcome. Recently, a company called Feiyu Tech reached out to me wondering if I would like to review their flagship gimbal, the AK4500, which they're claiming has a payload of 4.6 kilograms. Full disclosure, I was sent this unit free of charge, but I'm going to be giving my honest opinion as there really isn't much information out there about it. So, let's begin. The standard kit includes the gimbal as well as the AKF2 follow focus system. The AK4500 comes packaged in a durable foam case that can be reused. Inside the case you've got everything you'll need to get the gimbal up and running. Thankfully this includes the 4 18650 batteries that are required to power the gimbal. If you want to carry spares with you, these can be bought online relatively cheaply. One thing that stood out to me was how well made all the pieces look and feel. You've also got the stand, various USB cables for connecting the gimbal to your camera, as well as a battery charger. If you'd like to charge your batteries a lot faster, I would definitely recommend something like this Nightcore D4, which can charge off of mains power. You've also got a bracket for mounting various attachments. The standard kit includes the hyperlink remote as well as the follow focus, which once again feels very sturdy. Following the instructions and getting your camera correctly balanced on all axes is incredibly important. The first time I set it up, I actually did it incorrectly and all the footage was useless. So, follow the instructions and make sure you get familiar with the gimbal before you start filming anything important or for any paid work. Installing the follow focus was also pretty easy. All the tools and railings are included. It's also worth mentioning that you should balance the camera after you've installed all the cables and the follow focus. The instructions that came with the follow focus tell you to plug it into the USB port on the side of the gimbal. However, that is wrong. You're actually supposed to plug it into the USB port on the front. It took me ages to finally figure that out. While the foam carry case is a nice inclusion, once you've balanced the gimbal, it will not fit back into the case. I ended up putting the gimbal with spare batteries and camera in an old camera bag. This means I can carry the gimbal around safely and set it up easily. In literally just 2 minutes, I had it set up. Some things you're definitely going to want to keep in your bag are of course, the gimbal with all locks enabled, the hyperlink remote, your camera with follow focus ring installed, the camera mounting plate with follow focus installed. Just a quick side note, I put markings on the quick release plate to know exactly where to lock it when I set it up. It's also worth bringing the battery charger with micro USB cable, the tripod base, air blower, and spare batteries for both the camera and gimbal. Things to clean your lens are also very important to bring. Lastly, make sure you pack the instructions. This can be incredibly useful if you're not fully familiar with the gimbal. Before we go out and start shooting things, I would like to point out that my Fujifilm X-T2 mirrorless camera is not compatible with this gimbal, meaning you cannot adjust the exposure, white balance, or start and stop recording from the gimbal. Before you consider purchasing such a gimbal, definitely make sure that your camera has been verified to be compatible. So, let's go out and film some stuff with this gimbal. First of all, I went around and shot some nature and outdoor type footage. I ended up shooting all the footage in slow motion at 50 and 100 frames per second. Once I had fine-tuned the gimbal's sensitivity to my liking, I was able to get some very smooth shots. The city was my next location. One cool feature of this gimbal is its ability to spin 360 degrees. Here's what that looks like. One massive benefit to using the hyperlink remote is being able to comfortably move the camera while very low to the ground. Since this gimbal is fairly lightweight, I had no problem holding it for long periods of time as I walked around the city. Last of all, I did a little photo shoot with my dad and his VL Commodore. While my lights are definitely bright, filming at higher frame rates also means I have to shoot at faster shutter speeds. I also had to push up the ISO considerably. However, the footage with a little bit of tweaking turned out fine. From my experiences, I would definitely recommend turning off image stabilization while using this gimbal. The lens I used had a lot of trouble when I panned the gimbal left or right. Your experience may vary though. The AK4500 can also be updated as well as controlled from the phone app. I didn't really think too highly of this app. This could definitely do with some improvement as it's quite clunky. Another cool feature is the ability to pan and tilt the gimbal by using the Hyperlink's motion control. So, with the standard kit at an advertised price of $749, would I recommend this gimbal? Well, I'll be honest, there is very little out there about this specific model. Hardly any reviews or information outside of FeiyuTech's own website. I've genuinely been impressed by the build quality and functionality, but I would have liked to have seen more options when it comes to fine-tuning the motor controls. From the research I've done, a lot of people seem to have issues when it comes to warranty, customer support, and the software side of FeiyuTech's gimbals. I found the AK4500 great in my experience, but please do your research and decide whether it's worth the risk. Thank you very much for watching. Regular videos will be up very soon. And if you've liked this video, feel free to leave a like, and if you want to see more, definitely consider subscribing. I'll see you in the next video.